Now, Europe stands on a razor's edge. The United States is deploying hypersonic missiles which can reach into the heart of Russia in 5 minutes. Now, Russia has fired back with its own missile moves, and this comes amidst the rising nuclear tensions between the two superpowers. And our next report gets more details.
The missile chessboard in Europe is heating up like never before. The US is set to deploy its Dark Eagle hypersonic missile system in Europe, a weapon capable of striking deep inside Russian territory within 6 to 7 minutes. These hypersonic missiles, boasting ranges up to 5,500 kilometers and equipped with capabilities to carry both nuclear and non-nuclear conventional warheads, mark a sharp escalation in the West's military footprint. This isn't just about weapons, it's about a warning shot fired across the continent. Moscow, blindsided by the speed and reach of these new arms, has responded swiftly. The deployment of the Oreshnik missile system in Belarus is Russia's clear counter to America's rapid strike capabilities. These moves scramble the strategic balance, raising stakes in a tense, precarious environment. This comes at the back of nuclear genie coming out of the bottle. Washington is revisiting plans to resume nuclear testing, breaking a decades-old global taboo. Russia, not to be outdone, signals it may follow suit. Moscow seeks clear answers from Washington.
Still, the question persists, including in the United States of America. Is it about testing of delivery systems of nuclear weapons? Or does Washington consider resuming under false pretexts the explosive testings of nuclear elements contrary to provisions of the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty?
Возобновление под надуманными предлогами.
Both sides edge closer to a dangerous nuclear revival, threatening to undo years of international arms control efforts. With hypersonic missiles slicing through the skies and nuclear options looming, Europe finds itself caught between two nuclear-capable giants. The message is clear: the Cold War's ghost is back, and this time it's armed with speed, stealth, and deadly precision.
All right, now joining us live from Washington, D.C., we've got Mr. John Erath, who's a Senior Policy Director for the Center for Arms Control and Non-Proliferation in Washington. Mr. Erath, thank you very much indeed for joining us here in WION. Now, what do you make of these reports that are now starting to do the rounds, where the Russian Defense Minister is claiming that the Americans are planning to operationalize their Dark Eagle medium-range missile system, and it will be stationed somewhere possibly in Germany? And the Russians, of course, have said that they'll station their Oreshnik missiles in Belarus. What is happening here? Why are we witnessing this heightened sense of a missile system for missile system upping of ante?
The stationing of medium-range missiles in Europe is not particularly new. Both sides have done this in the past. What is new is that the systems that are being talked about in this report are new, and they are, in theory, more capable than what was there before. By more capable, I mean able to strike targets at longer ranges faster than previous generations. What's important to understand, though, is that on the US side, the missiles are non-nuclear capable. They carry conventional payloads. the Russian missiles are dual capable. They can carry both nuclear and conventional warheads. So that's one small difference.
It's interesting you're pointing out that the Americans are stationing non-nuclear weapons. But what do you make of Donald Trump's strident rhetoric that he wants the United States of America to restart nuclear testing? And there's a lot of ambiguity on what Donald Trump actually means here. Does he want to explode nuclear bombs all over again to test them out, so to speak? Because even the Russians want some clarity from the American president. Why do you think Donald Trump is talking about restarting nuclear tests?
I think that there is some confusion over what the president meant. The Secretary of Energy has clarified that the U.S. would not be conducting explosive nuclear tests. That is, a test in which nuclear energy was released. Mm-hmm. There are smaller subcritical tests that have been ongoing, and it's possible that some of these might be under consideration. It's also possible that what the president is referring to is the continued testing of nuclear-capable missiles. There was one of those earlier this week, so that could be what he was referring to. Or it could be that he was seeking negotiating leverage to hopefully encourage Russia to participate in a further dialogue on reductions of strategic arms.
All right.
But we'll wait for clarification on that.
We wait a clarification because the ambiguity on what Donald Trump, of course, meant still continues. And in the meanwhile, we are witnessing the stationing of these medium-range missiles pointing from east to west and from west to east, something which I'm pretty sure is raising a lot of concerns across the world. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Erath, for joining us with that perspective there.
You're very welcome.